Hello again, beekeepers. Welcome to this edition of Enjoy Beekeeping. Today is basically a continuation of what I was doing yesterday, which is the fall honey harvest. So today I want to get into the horizontal hives, and I know that's what a lot of you come to my channel to see. And we'll probably move quickly just like before, and this time is the horizontal hive honey harvest. Okay, I know that this hive had honey last time I was in there, so I'm going to open that one first. They had the honey, it was right before the dearth set in. I actually harvested, I think 1 or 2 frames from it already. So I'm going to go in because I believe they still have honey. We'll find out. We don't know how much they consume during the dearth, so let's check it out. You get the beekeeper's eye view. All right, hive tool. Yeah, last time I was in here was September 8th. I got this nice and glued down. Hey, bees, how's it going? All right. I'm pretty sure you have extra honey for me. I'll move these beetle traps out of the way. And we're just going to start from the right-hand side and work this way. I believe these are fairly full frames of honey. And I'll put a little smoke on this side. Okay, let's get some honey. And there's a partial. Not much honey on that at all. I might even leave that for them. Let's see what the next one looks like. Alrighty. This one's got a little more to it. That looks a lot like something they would have in the brood nest. Let's get a little further. Okay. Here we are. Well, it's a partial. Let me look for something just a little nicer. Alrighty. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, okay. A little better. But that one's got open nectar. I'm not going to be able to harvest that one because it's got open nectar in it. All right, is there any that I can just take today and not have any open nectar? Those ones prior to it were pretty good, actually. Okay, this one is pure honey, so we'll take it. Put that in here. This one too, pure honey. And no brood on it, so that, I gotta brush those bees off, don't I? Okay, bees, let's go. There we go. No more bees. These are not packed with honey by any means. They did have a lot of honey. This one still has a fair amount. Let's get rid of the bees. Okay. Would have liked to have seen more, but that's what our midsummer dearth does. And the bees sometimes wipe out the honey. All right, we're gonna continue inspecting. Oh, and there's a wasp. Okay. All right, let's move this over. There's a little bit of honey on that, but that's got nectar also. Now we're going to move closer to the brood chamber, which is this way. here. All right, these are just so that my pieces of plywood don't come down and crush the bees. All right, what do we got here, bees? Okay. Not much honey, but we got some wax moths, so we are gonna probably need to get this out of here. As you can see, it's a small colony. It was larger. They may have split themselves. So there's not many bees to protect this comb, so there's no sense in leaving it because it's unprotected comb. The nest is this way. So if you leave this comb in here, the wax moths will just start eating it up. And it has some open nectar. Not a lot. Well, all right, let's brush these bees off. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think there should be room for one more. What's on this frame? Not much. A little bit of nectar. Let me move a little further in. Yeah, this colony really kind of surprised me because it was a swarm out of a tree. And I thought, oh, these are wild bees. They're going to do fantastic because they're wild bees. And then they were just kind of gimping along after June. They were just kind of gimping along, not doing that great, really. And so I had another colony that was in kind of the same shape, and so I combined them. So this is a combined colony. You can see there's not much going on here, so let's get in here. Make sure we still have a laying queen. I think we do. I saw them bringing pollen in, so that's a good sign. There's bees. All right, so the brood nest is right here. All right, they just shrunk in size. Okay, let's just see. And hive beetles were starting to become an issue, so I put these hive beetle traps in. They're a little different than the kind I've shown you before. Ooh, look at this. Robber bees are already checking this out. I gotta cover that up. They don't waste any time, man. So I am trying to move quickly. All right, this is just nice comb. It's just nice empty comb. Probably can save it for next year. They're not on it. As you can see, they're barely touching it. I should put a little smoke here. Okay. I just want to make sure there's honey around that brood nest. Yeah, there's a little bit of nectar they're storing. That's just whatever they've been able to find this fall. There we go. What was that? Okay. Well, they've got nectar. And what's on this side? You can see this is a Langstroth conversion. I've got the old Langstroth frame on it. There's a beetle. We'll get him. I don't see a ton of beetles, so I'm glad about that. Yeah, but this colony is shrunk in size. What's going on in this frame? Here we go. What do we got? Some brood finally. A little bit of cap brood. Let's see what else is in here. All right, cap brood on top. I want to make sure we've got a laying queen. And I do see very young larvae. How about an egg? An egg would be good too. Young larvae. It looks like they may still be having a little bit of brood issue here. That's what was going on with them before. I'm gonna see if they can recover from it or not. Hopefully they can. Move these over and get right down into the nest here. Let's see where all the action is. Not much honey. But there's brood. Brood and emerging brood and uncapped brood and a couple of eggs. So good. We got our queen, so I don't need to worry about that. We do have a laying queen. I'm just not overly impressed with their honey stores. I mean, they got honey all the way down the one side, but I'm trying to see how much I can take from them without hurting them, because they don't have much on these frames. But here's one with honey. Okay, this one has honey at the top. I can see it. Band of honey there. Band of honey. Ah, good. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. All right, this one has it. I gotta make sure that their winter brood nest has the honey on it. And it does. See it right there. Right along the sides. But I want to make sure that I don't short them. And there's more honey here. And that's all on the brood. Honey here, you can see. All right, let's just move one or two more and make sure that's what we see, because they got to have enough to get through the winter. But I don't want to leave them too much. Yeah, they've got honey. All right, good. So I see honey all along the sides here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 frames. This is an empty frame, but I'm seeing enough to know that they do have honey on all their brood frames. So I'm gonna move them all back together. That's all I'm here to do, is make sure that they got enough honey on their brood frames. And I only want to leave them enough comb that they can protect from wax moths and beetles. So they're going to be down, this is a 20 frame hive. They're going to be down to maybe 10. So this is an empty frame, but we'll still count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 frames there. Put these back. Nine, if you count this one. 9, 10. 10, maybe 11, because they might have nectar on this one. Let me look. Ah, this doesn't count. The little bit that's there. No. Okay, so we're going to take those away. Oh, here's another frame with honey that I'm going to take. Ah, it's too bad it's not top to bottom honey. Oh, I can't take this. This is nectar. So I'll tell you what, that's going to be the wall. That's going right here. And I need to put my follower board, which I don't see. I wonder if I forgot to make one for this colony. And that's got nectar on it too. And one emerging bee right there. So because it's full of nectar, I'm just going to leave it there, but these are coming out. We're just going to use these for next year. This is good comb, but if I leave it in there, I think the wax moths are just going to have a field day with it. Actually, it doesn't need to be protected because it's not honey. Let's just go ahead and get that all up. Okay, brush them off. I'm gonna have to come back, I guess, and put a follower board here. So that's gonna be the next thing to do. I'm gonna keep these beetle traps in here. Apparently they're working, so I don't really see a lot of hive beetles. And we're gonna put everything back. believe this was the last one. Look at the bees on here. Hey guys. Okay, my notes. I have to move my notes. And then we'll take some new notes. So there's that. All right, and then this goes next. Now this was some ventilation that I gave them, and if you look, you can see they propylized it all shut except for this little bit right here. So they must need just a little bit of top ventilation. That's what they've given themselves. This is fine right now. I wouldn't do this in the spring. I wouldn't leave all this empty space, because if I put this cover on, you know they're going to draw a comb right up to the very top. But right now, that's not a situation that we have to worry about. So we're going to put everything back. There we go. All right, we're just going to take a quick note here of what happened, what we saw today. So we saw a weak colony, but they're still here. So today is the 8th. So 10, 8, 20. So eggs, larva, still there, right? Eggs, larva, small colony, but still going. Took away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Took 6 partial honeys. Partial honey frames. And I gotta cover those frames up. Look at this. These bees get right in there once they know. Okay. That wasn't too bad though. Yesterday was a little bit more difficult. So we're gonna leave that there. We need to come back and put the follower board in to fully winterize them. But there they go. I know I look great with this GoPro on my head. I don't know if you can see me or not. I'm having a hard time seeing the viewfinder. If you've been following my channel for a little while, this is a swarm that I got, and it was the title of the video is 39-pound swarm catch. That's how much the whole swarm trap weighed when I took it down out of the tree. Now that was counting the box too, but just, you know, anyway. The thing weighed almost 40 pounds and it looked really good. I'm expecting some good things when I open this one up, so let's check it out. Okay, this is my 39-pounder. This was this captured swarm on that was retrieved on April 20th. So let's check it out. I got a box all ready for honey, and I have a follower board in this one. So we're gonna winterize. Hi guys. Hi bees. All right, I'm gonna set this here. That's one. And probably gonna do this one too. Oh yeah. Oh, look at all them darn beetles. Look at this. Well, they had them corralled, but now we gotta mash them. Oh, this is a lot of beetles. So we're gonna need traps. Make sure we got plenty of them. Okay, bees, I'll help you if you let me. Let me get this one bee. All right. That's one of those ugly facts of life. Hive beetles. The bees usually corral them down into the corners here, and I've got these other traps placed. And it looks like, you know, the beetles have used these up. These traps, that one's still got stuff in it. It's Crisco. So it's Crisco with a nice little boric acid mixture, and there's a beetle. So it looks like they've gone through those already. I might have to add some more traps. This one's still good. Okay, let's move this along. There was a lot of beetles there just now. Okay, what do we got on this? A lot of beetles still. Let's go ahead and mash them up. Okay, this is only honey. Just a little bit of honey on it. Honey and some beetles. So we might just brush these guys off. Where'd my brush go? Here it is. All right, bees. I'm going to brush you in front of the hive because I don't want any of them beetles going back in the hive. Let's see. Off you go. Sorry, guys. There you go. Nothing like getting bees excited. In case I didn't have enough coffee this morning. Let's get them all out of there. Okay. They know where they live. They can go in their hive. So I'm taking that. And let's go to the next one. A little bit of smoke probably would be good. And we are going to need maybe another fresh beetle trap or two in here. This colony is stronger than the one that we were just in. Now the irony is that, okay, so this is a stronger colony, but it had way more hive beetles in it than the other one. The other one had hardly any at all. In fact, I don't even know if I saw a hive beetle in there. But this one, it's got a lot of bees, but it had a lot of beetles too. And this, they got that propolized in there. Probably my fault because the frame touches the sidewall a little bit. So, beekeeper's fault. Alrighty. And again, lots of beetles running around. Okay, so not much honey, but I'm going to take it out of there. There's more honey right there. I'm going to brush these bees off the same way. Maybe I'll smoke them off. Let's try smoking them this time. That'll chase the beetles off too. All right, bees, off you go. There they go. Nice and easy. Beetles and bees all taking a ride. There they go. Okay, let's get this in here. And keep moving. There's a lot more honey on this one, but I'm gonna have to get right under here. Take away the next board. Now, as soon as I get to the brood area, that's where I'm going to stop. Let's see if it's close by. Yeah, the beetles, man, they ate up the Crisco in there. I imagine we killed a lot, but there's still quite a few. And they got that glued in just as tight as can be, too. You just got to take your time with it. That's nice and loose. Let's see if we can break this free. Here it comes. And lift off. All right, this is a heavier frame, but let's see. Sure enough, that's what I was afraid of. They got a lot of open nectar in here. See, it's a little early. And there's brood right there. So this is where we stop. But I'm very happy to see this, if you can see in here. All right, there's your brood, and there's honey here. There's honey at the top, and there's honey on the side. Just like an arch. So I'm hoping that you can see what I see here. So I don't have to go any further. I'm done right here. And all I'm going to do is just a little maintenance right here. This is my fault. So you just deal with it when you're in there. Scrape some of that off. And that's a little better. You can chew on that too. Sometimes I put a piece in my mouth. That way I smell more like a beehive. Look at them working there. They're just working away. Alright, I don't want to push it by keeping this hive open any longer than necessary, so let's go ahead and close this up. And I'd like to bring the follower board in. So this has to come back. Hey guys, alright. I also have to put a fresh beetle trap in here. I think I'm going to get one of those between the framers. I might put 2 down here. Alright, these are just empties. Nothing's going to happen to these frames. They can stay here. There's no wax on them. They don't have to protect this or anything. There's no harm from wax moth or anything like that that's going to pose an issue. Oh, that's really tight. What did I do? Make it crooked? Or the wood swelled. That's probably what happened. There it goes. All right. Okay. Cover up. A little smoke. Hey, chicken. Chicken came to see what's up. Uh-oh. And look at here. This didn't take long. So this is what I'm talking about. Look at them. They don't even care that I'm blowing smoke on them. Let's see if I can get this follower board down in here. Cover this up. They don't give you time to work in warm weather like this, so... But today's the day I gotta do this. Good deal. All right, let's block this in. And back with this. All right, touchdown in T-3, 2, 1. Yep, there we go. All right, it's done. This hive's ready for winter. What did we get? We didn't really get much, though. Probably a half a frame of honey, if that. So I'm kind of disappointed, yes. All right, but not all hives are created equal. Even Dr. Leo has some hives that almost give them nothing every year. Today's the 8th, 10/8/20. So we winterized and took half a frame of honey for 2 partials. All right, so this is definitely not one that I'm impressed about as far as the honey production. Now, they did have a lot more honey than that earlier in the season, but I don't harvest till now because I want to make sure I leave enough. So, all right, this is all cleaned up and done. I really have no intentions of coming back here until the spring. So I just wanted to take a time out and stop this video right around 30 minutes or so, because I've got more hives that I'm going to inspect, and I'm going to show those in the very near future. But I wanted to stop here just for a minute because I wanted you to understand what you're seeing, especially for you new beekeepers that are out there, and for those that are considering using Layens hives or horizontal hives. When we're going through these hives, you're maybe thinking, wow, they didn't really produce a lot of honey, and you're right, they didn't. Here's a couple things that go into the equation that'll help you understand this a little bit better. First off, these are first year swarms or cutouts. So because I don't feed them any sugar, they have to forage all they can as far as nectar to build all the comb right from scratch, from zero. They have nothing to start with. All I do is I put empty frames in my swarm traps, and then the bees that I capture in these swarm traps, I should say, they have to forage everything they need in order to build all the comb that they will need for their brood nest, for honey storage, and pollen. And so because of that, it takes a lot of resources. Now, some estimates have said that it takes about 8 pounds, 7 or 8 pounds of sugar or nectar to create 1 pound of wax. So you can really appreciate how much honey, or nectar I should say, the bees had to use in order to create all that comb to start with. So now that they have it, and next year, after I harvest this honey out of some of these comb frames, I'll be able to reuse those frames. I'll just be able to reinstall them back into the hives, especially right around the time of the honey flow. Then the bees, they won't have to construct all that honeycomb, but then all they have to do is just add the nectar and create the honey in those combs. So that's going to save them a lot. The other thing that we also observe in this video is the fact that the bees consume a large amount of honey, especially during the dearth. During the wintertime, the bees consume honey, but not nearly as much as they do they do in the dearth, because it's so warm. The bees are very active. Our dearth here in North Georgia, the temperatures are usually right around between 90 and 100. So it's very hot, and so the bees are very active. They're out foraging anything that they can get as far as resources go, food, pollen, propolis for the hive. And so they're very active, and they can consume upwards of half of the honey that they were able to store from early spring. So that's quite a substantial amount of honey. So if you're in an area where there's dearth, try not to fall into a bad habit of harvesting right after your honey flow. Wait for the dearth, because sometimes they might use almost all the honey, and you don't want your bees to starve, and you certainly don't want to start feeding them sugar, because sugar and honey have a different pH and it upsets the bees' microbiome. So you want to avoid that, and there's other videos out there that explain that in more depth, but I just want to give you the quick synopsis of what we saw today. So we really did see some very good things, and I'm very pleased with the Layens hives. The horizontal hives are doing very well, and so next year, that's the plan. We're going to reinstall those combs that we saved from our extractor. And just a quick thing too, I had a video, I think it was a week or two ago, where I harvested the honey from my Langstroth hives. I've got some 5-frame nukes in my apiary. The thing to keep in mind with them, now I was able to harvest extra honey from them due to the fact that they already were established. They already had all the comb built that they raised their brood on. They even had some extra honeycomb that was empty, that all they had to do was just put the honey into. And then all I needed to do was come in later in the season as the honey flow was starting to take off and just give them some extra comb frames, because I already had Langstroth comb frames that were built out. I did give them some empty frames that I checkerboarded within the colony, and so what they were able to do was just use whatever resources they needed in order to just build the little bit of new comb that they wanted to either make more brood nest or even honeycomb. But they didn't have to start from zero like we saw in the Layens hives. So I hope that clarifies everything that you saw today. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out in the comments below. I'll try to do my very best to answer those for you. And I just want to say thank you at this time to all of the new subscribers to Enjoy Beekeeping. I just want to thank you for checking out the videos. Let me know what you're looking for in the near future, and I'll try to put out some of that content for you. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like so other people can check it out, and don't forget to share it too. If you've got other beekeepers that are kind of in the treatment-free category and maybe the horizontal hives, share this video with them, because I want to put out more videos that are centered around this kind of beekeeping management. So I hope that you had a lot of fun. I know I did. Stay tuned for next week's, it'll be the next week or two. I'm going to show you the horizontal hive
with the double deep Langstroth configuration. This was a bee tree cutout. In fact, if you want to go back to the video that I shot earlier in the spring, you can actually see me getting the bees out of a tree that someone had taken down on their property. They had all kinds of bees in it, and I don't know how long they were there. They were probably there for quite a while, and these are the kind of bees that I'm looking for my apiary, because they're already proven the test of time that they know how to deal with the environment here that's local, and that's the key. So we'll see you next time, friends. Enjoy beekeeping.